Hi, this is our daily tarot. Before I jump in, I wanted to give people an update in regard to what's going on with the publication of my cards. As many of you may know, I read from cards that I hand drew a little bit more than, I want to say, 8 or so years ago. And I've been talking to a publisher about getting them published, which is going to be quite an effort for me to do. So if you have an appreciation for these daily readings and want to make a contribution by way of donation to help me publish my cards so I can make them available for sale, I'll leave a link below for you to find out how to do that. If you'd also like a reading, of course, reach out to me as well, and I'll have that information below. I am going to be offering some workshops, but I wanted to offer the deck of cards as part of the workshop, so I'm kind of in a little bit of a tug of war in regard to whether or not I plan for the workshop and then wait to print the cards, or if I do some kind of fundraiser to get the cards printed so that then I can organize the workshop. So I'm kind of mentally working with those gears right now. Let's go ahead and jump into today's tarot. The opening card that we have for today is the Four of Pentacles. The challenge that we are working with is the Six of Swords. The way we're going to get through the challenge is the Queen of Pentacles, and the overall outcome for the day is the Ace of Wands. So let's take a look at this Four of Pentacles that we're working with today. We're doing some kind of inventory or some kind of budgeting around our resources, looking at what we have to value, what we can bring into the world, and how we can be practical in what we do with our resources. We can see the figure in this card has a big old coin on their head, and they have one strapped across their chest and one underneath both of their feet, and they're really consumed quite literally with this idea of valuation and resources. So that's what's on our mind right now, quite literally. Now, the challenge that we're facing is the Six of Swords. So when we look at this card, we can see that there's a couple of figures sitting in the boat, and there is someone directing the boat behind them, which, you could see as a person or spirit or some kind of guide. And in the foreground of their boat, we see kind of tumultuous waters. And then in the background, or where they're actually moving toward, there's peaceful waters. So there's this challenge of how we move to something that has been mentally challenging for us, how we move away from that into something that is more peaceful, moving toward calm waters, so to speak. And it is a sword card. So it brings up this idea, quite literally, of how we communicate to ourselves inwardly around possibility and where we're going and what we have, and how that can be really defeating and limiting versus the sense of knowing that we're moving towards something that is going to be bringing a greater peace for us, rather than, these people aren't moving into the tumultuous waters, right? They're moving away from them. So it's how do we frame our mind in such a way that we can see that we're moving toward something that is going to be beneficial for us, away from this place of kind of upheaval that we've been in, either, financially or emotionally or mentally, or wherever we've been fixating in our thoughts and in communications that's been causing us strife. Now, the way we're going to get through the challenge is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a cardinal earth energy. It's associated with that Capricorn energy, which is our life path, our career, our aim, and where we're going to in life. And consider that the mountain goat that governs Capricorn has a sure foot when it's climbing the mountain. Ironically, I saw 2 mountain goats yesterday when I was driving home. So I saw that as a really cool sign for them to come in that right now in Capricorn, we've had the planet of Pluto for a number of years. We have Mercury retrograding just a couple degrees outside of Pluto, so they're almost in an exact conjunction. And then we have Mars and Venus that just went into Capricorn as well. So we have all this energy that's in this area of our chart that's creating change and is motivating us in a lot of ways, because we have our Venus, which is our value system and our financial system and what we do to take care of ourselves. And then we also have Mars, which is like our initiator and our warrior. And they are within just a couple of degrees of each other for actually a couple of months. So it's really interesting. That doesn't happen very often. And so we have this pairing that's moving together for quite an amount of time, which is bringing an energy to this area of our life and like our life path. Like, consider that if you were to frame out the last year and like section it out and like open up any of one of those sections and like that was all consuming for you, you have to consider that this is just like a small piece of the pie, right? And that's just of a year. And then you stack another year on that, and you stack another year on that. And you have this range of different experiences that we've been through, and to give us enough perspective to know that if we're in, some stormy waters, the waters don't stay tumultuous all the time, right? Calm seas come after tumultuous waters. Like, there is shift, there is balance, there is change. And so when we consider, what we had to climb to go somewhere in life, it's part of the story. It doesn't have to be a traumatic thing. And it's all about how we shape that mentally and how we give perspective to it based on our own valuation of our experience. The ultimate outcome that we have for today is the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is a really powerful card because it's this new beginning. It's the number one fire card, right? It's this one directional will. And so there's this new conception or new idea or new beginning that is coming into play today after all of this other stuff that we've moved through, and possibly even because of stuff we've moved away from. And it's like the torch is on the other side of this waterway waiting for us to put it in our hands and move forward in the direction. But we have to follow it, and we have to commit to it in order for it to actually come into being. So that is our tarot card reading for today. I think it's actually pretty inspiring, considering that today we also have a new moon, and it's also the Chinese New Year. And so there really is this energetic to this new beginning that we're starting. And I ask you to go inward and ask yourself what it is that you really value and what you want to move toward this year, because this is a really, really powerful time to plant that seed. And of course, if you'd like to donate to help me get my cards printed, that would be so appreciated. Or if you just appreciate these daily readings and want to contribute, that would be appreciated as well. I'll leave those links below, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Mwah.